Not having a NSF 58 certified reverse osmosis system in Palm Beach Gardens is putting your and your family's health at risk. The water in Palm Beach Gardens contains toxins like forever chemicals, hexavalent chromium-6, trihalomethylenes. There's a variety of things that are in your water that at small doses can affect your health. We know that. We know that why? As you can see, I'm in Palm Beach Gardens. Seacoast Water Authority is actually the water authority here. And in the backdrop there, you can see that there's water towers that are providing you and your family good, clean water. Now, it's good and clean in regards to what it can do, right? It takes the water out of the ground or from a water supply, and it adds chlorine to the water and sends it to your home. And then you drink it. It's called a water treatment plant, not a water filtration plant, because it's treating the water with chlorine. Now, we know from water reports that the water here has these toxins in the water. In fact, your water report literally says, check with your doctor regarding your water if an infant, if you're elderly, if your immune system is compromised, if you are on chemotherapy, if you're going through radiation. And you know what? I've done that. You think, you know, me, I love health, right? I came from the healthcare world. I sold pharmaceuticals. So of course, first thing I did is call doctors. And do you know now one doctor, even cancer doctors could tell me that there's any reason why you shouldn't drink the water. But when you explain to them that there's chlorine, high levels of chlorine, heck, this water has higher levels in chlorine than a pool does in most of the testing that we've done. So if that's the case, you got to ask yourself, does that make sense? By the way, have you ever read the side of a chlorine bottle? Well, I did. It says, harmful, fatal if swallowed. Don't inhale. I mean, it's like, really? It says all these things? But yet our government says a small amount is just fine for your body. Well, my argument is maybe you need to be the decision of that. You need to make that decision. Ask yourself, is that important to you to be able to drink just a little bit of those toxins from the water supply? I mean, if you think about it, if we went over to the water reclamation district right behind here, or the river of water right behind here, and we just grabbed a cup of water and we added a couple of drops of chlorine to it and then sent it to you, allowed you to drink it, would you actually grab that glass and drink it? No, most people say no. But yet that's what people do, because we're under this assumption, Asa, you and me both, right, is that we assume that the water treatment plant is literally filtering the water. But no, they're a water treatment plant, treating it with chemicals. And that's why you need to be the water authority for your family. You need to do your homework. And so I decided to help you with that. So standing outside this beautiful facility, actually it's a gorgeous facility, very clean. Sometimes I get outside of some of these and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to drink the water. But this one's very clean. However, they do have toxins that are in the water. And what we know is forever chemicals. Yes, that's that movie, what Mark Ruffalo did about forever chemicals being in the water. That's Teflon and the water repellent that comes from 3M. Those chemicals are literally in your water supply. It's made national news because it's a forever chemical. It's forever, the body doesn't break it down. It's entirely toxic to the body. It's toxic to the liver. I mean, so there's so many things that does to the body that you have to ask yourself, do you really want to drink that? Heck, there's also hexavalent chromium-6 in this water supply. Yes, that's a movie as well. That's the one that Julia Roberts won her Best Actress Award. Yes, it's called Erin Brockovich Story. So that's in your water supply. There's trihalomethylenes in your water supply. I mean, there's a variety of toxins that are in your water, but they're at small amounts that are below some of the old, outdated EPA standards. Now, the government has updated its standard to include forever chemicals, which allows this water authority 6 years or more to be able to remove those toxins out of the water. So what are you going to do between now and 6 years from now or more? They probably are going to be able to give people or these water authorities permissions or permits to extend it even longer, because that's what they've done in the past. So you have to ask yourself what you can do. By the way, if you like this video, please click like. If you have friends, family that live in Palm Beach Gardens, please share it with them. Really be grateful. And if subscribe too if you find that this is actually helpful for you, because you know, I'm passionate about water. I'm passionate about making people more healthy. Also, we have a great video on why a water softener can save you money in Palm Beach Gardens. Check out that link too. So my passion is about making people more healthy. I used to own pharmacies where I sold prescription drugs where I thought that was healing people. But then as time went on, I found out, wait a second, I don't think I've ever heard or met anybody that actually their disease was cured by taking a prescription drug. And so as I had this internal struggle with that, I decided I needed to get out of the the prescription pharmaceutical business, and I got into water filtration, because your body is made up of 70% water, 65–70% water. Your brain is 90% water. Yeah, 90% water. You should be drinking half your weight in ounces per day. So when I would meet people that their whole lives changed when they would simply drink more water, they were eating more healthy, they were getting the toxins and the chemicals out of their food, they were eating organic, they were drinking purified water, and they're sitting there telling me I cured my disease. And I sat there in these meetings when I was in the pharmacy world, and I'm like, I can't believe this. And then I had to have a heart-to-heart with myself. Do I really want to stay in a world where the drugs weren't truly solving problems, or do I want to be in a world where I can help teach you that you are one big filter? And when you consume water, it filters, it flushes the body of those toxins. Between clean water and your liver, you process toxins out of the body. So to me, it became abundantly clear that we as human beings, if we want to live longer, if we want to live a more healthy life, we need to drink and flush our body with toxin-free water. Now, when I started looking at the water world, I was like, oh my God. I mean, all city water supplies across the country have small levels of toxins in the water. Every city has to add chlorine to the water, and when you read the side of that water bottle, precautions, you're like, oh my God. And then you read about fluoride. And I don't know if any of you ever took a chemistry class, but on the far right-hand side of the periodic table is the most toxic substances on Earth, and there is fluoride. And we're required in this country to add fluoride to the water. Yes, that authority there is required by the government to do that. But wait, is fluoride needed for everybody? Well, that's debate. There's huge debates on that, yet they still do that. I mean, if anything, what we now know that the only case that it might be worthwhile is children up until the age of like 8 or 10. And then after that, it doesn't do anyone any good. So you got to say, does it make sense? Heck, most countries have stopped adding fluoride to the water, but not the good old USA. No, and I would argue that it's not some, I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I think that it's actually just because our governments are just so slow to move. They're so slow to do anything, and there's lobby money behind everything, behind literally everything. Probably the fluoride companies are lobbying the government not to change it, and then they don't change it. But the good thing is, under President Biden, is that they did do something. They updated the EPA standard on drinking water to now say that forever chemicals is toxic to the human body. Oh my God, this was a gift for you and me. For the government to finally acknowledge something like as awful as that toxin, that it's bad for the body. Now, virtually no water authority has a reverse osmosis system that takes that out. And that's what it takes. It takes basically reverse osmosis. That's the best system to get forever chemicals out of the water, to get hexavalent chromium-6 out of the water, and a solid, good carbon block that's certified to take out trihalomethanes. Yes, I understand the chemistry that's involved in order to be able to provide you and your family the healthiest water possible. Now, no, you can't just get this online, because the Chinese don't know this. They're manufacturing products that hit the lowest price point. We've found companies that actually get their products NSF 58 certified in order. That NSF 58 certification means a nonprofit tested, put toxins into the system with water, and then tested it afterwards to make sure those toxins are out. Lead, that's a big thing too. I mean, Florida, I think, has some of the, as a state, has more lead than any other state in the country. Crazy, right? Chicago has more lead in the one city. Why do they use lead in the service pipes up in Chicago until the 1980s? I mean, it's like insanity, right? Well, lobby money and just the human nature of not wanting to change is arguably why we haven't made strides in making our water more healthy for you and me. And lobby money makes the government go and spend billions of dollars in Ukraine versus on the water supply that makes you and your family more healthy. So that's a debatable issue that we can all talk about someday when it comes to politics. But right now, my ultimate goal was just to simply educate you on what's in your water and what you need to do to take it out. And if that has helped you, then you know I've achieved my goal. Again, my overall goal here is to be able to provide you and your family great resources so that you can make your decision as to what you can do for the health and welfare of your family. So as you know, I'm passionate about great water. My name is Drew. I'm here to serve you.